Okay, now I have here my strip. Oops, let me make this a little. Sorry guys. Yeah. Hopefully a little better. Here is the green and white strip. And yes, folks, I did cheat. Okay. This was already made. Haha. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this and I'm going to kind of weave it in. You can use a needle, you can use a crochet hook or whatever to just pull the end through in between the stitches to weave it in. Makes it out of the way. More than anything, I just want to get it out of the way while I'm working. And later on it'll be good because they'll be woven in and then it can be worked into the blanket and keep it together so there's no chance of it falling apart. So we have green, off-white, green, off-white, green, off-white, green, and off-white. All the way to the end. And I've woven my tail in. Kids and I have been joking about 2-year-old talk lately. In their teens, and they're reverting back to toddler talk, they said. Anyways, so now that I've got this strip, I'll show you. This is not the color that was used for my older son's blanket. That is no longer in existence. But this is what do you call, Simply Soft. It's softer. Simply Soft paints. It's a softer yarn than what was used before. What was used before was actually part of the 1 pound stuff, and it was an ombre of the 3 colors that I actually have used in this, which is this mauve, this green, and this off-white. Actually, we're all together in that ombre. And surprisingly, these 2 colors are still in existence. The off-white actually was once called winter white, but it's pretty much, it's a little darker than the original winter white, which it wasn't white, and it wasn't off-white either. So that was the closest I could come to. And the first color I got was, first one I had, pull this out here real quick. I've actually started a scarf with it, but the first one was actually this color. And as you can see, online it looked like the same color, but it isn't even the same. If you look at it next to each other, not even the same, not even close. Even the off-white wasn't even close, considering the batch I got didn't even have off-white showing. It basically was not there, even though it showed on the online picture when I ordered this 2 years ago. So I started making a scarf with it. Kind of cool, huh? Palindrome. I'll give you a link to that pattern if you want to see how she does that. And it's actually a fast pattern to work. So I had to reorder, and by then this color did not exist at the time, but it exists now. So I will show you how to connect the 2 colors. Now, first I have to lay out the blanket and find out which side. And you see, this is another way to get your tails out of the way while you're working. Is actually, you know, I really get rid of these and put on wire ties on your bags of bread. Sometimes they put what they call a key lock on it. you save these and you use this to just wind your yarn around, and it works great that way. It works terrible on plastic bags of bread because it rips holes in the plastic bag. And you can just weave this end in just like before. Just take the end and weave it in like that. Okay. Anyways, that's just, again, a convenience thing. I find this works really well when I want to get going and have no patience for that part right now. And we want to make sure you see how these are connected this way. You can see the, now you want to make sure you don't accidentally do this. I haven't done it, but I've almost done it. Make sure they're both going in the same direction. Okay, did some camera adjustments. Hopefully this will work. Now I'm just going to do a simple slip stitch to connect the two to start off. Okay, and I am going to go right in that bottom hole, just like there's one matching on this side. Did the same thing. Right there. Okay, so those are going to be where we begin and end. So over here, I'm going to start right here, and I am going to do one slip stitch to connect it. Okay, and then go back in that hole, and I'm going to do one single crochet. Oops, sorry. I'm going to go back in that same hole there, and I apologize if I keep doing that. It's just I'm not used to this. Okay, and I am going to do one single crochet in there, which I did already. Pull the loop through. Okay, and pull through again, and there we go. And then I'm going to go across to this other side. If you look, there's actually two holes here on this bar, and I'm going to go into this bottom part of the hole right here, and I'm going to pull through and basically do a single crochet there, and then I'm going to do a second one. I'm going to go back in there, grab hold of the yarn over, pull it through, and single crochet. Now I'm going to do the same thing coming in the other direction. Now I'm going to go back over to this half, and we're actually going to go up to the next section. See, so we just did this one on that side. Okay, so if you look, pull that up a little bit so I can show you. You can see how this bottom half, we're going to that bottom half, and so it only, if you look at this long bar, there are two holes again, and we're going to go into the bottom hole on the green side, and make sure I grab the right yarn and not the tail. The tail I leave out if possible. Try not to weave that in, because I will use it at the end to help make it a firmer connection on the bottom. Loop in there, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through two loops, basically like a single crochet in there. Go back in there, yarn over, pull through two loops. And again, if you look at it, we're going to go back over to this side now. We went into this bottom. Now this next section, two holes, I'm going to go into the bottom of that one, and yarn over, pull through. See, and I caught myself doing this a lot of times. When you do this, make sure that it's out of the way. So yarn over, Okay, so yarn over, pull through, and basically just as long as I get that on the bottom, find sometimes if I go around this way, there we go, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, pull through the 2 loops, and I want to keep that, see, it's not going to stay anyhow, trying to weave it in under right now, so just try and leave that tail. Matter of fact, I think I'll add it to this little key. Sorry, bumped the camera again, and this time I'm not going to let the editor correct the bumps, because I think it did some weird things on the first video. Okay, so I did my 1. Now I'm going to go back in there, do my 2nd single crochet, and then come back across in the bottom hole, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets, and you can see it's starting to form how it's going to connect up. And I'm going to go from all the way up to the top doing this. Actually, yeah, I'll go all the way up to the next color so you can see how that's done. And I did something weird there. Okay, anyways, I'll go to the next color, and then you can see what I did there, so I can stop talking and doing weird things with my yarn. I'll see you at the top of the next color. Okay, here I am back at where the connecting colors are. This is the part I always find difficult, is figuring out where to put this next single crochet. Basically, if you look at it, it's still basically the same. You have a top and a bottom hole here. So I am going to go into this bottom hole and do 1 and then 2 single crochets. Then I'm going to come across to this side, and since I already went into this bottom hole and this seam, this would be the top hole, I'm actually going to jump over to the next connecting color, and I'm going to go into this bottom hole and connect that up. So it may look a little odd right now doing that, and then we're going to go up to this too, because remember we did this right here. So we're not going to go here, we're actually going to jump up to the next one and connect there, and continue on up the blanket row like this. Okay, and you can see it may look odd, but when you do it, it actually works. It works out, because see how I did it here, and because of the way it's done, it actually, it'll pull funny one way, but we're going to come back down this way, and when it comes back down, it actually evens it out, and it actually meets up pretty darn nice. You can see up here on this one, it worked out really good too. Even with the softer yarn, I was surprised. I was worried that the softer yarn would not hold them together as well, but I think it's because you're doing it twice, going up one direction and then coming down the other direction. It still gives it a really firm hold, and it's not really, it doesn't stretch any more than the rest of the yarn. So I'll go all the way up to the top of the row, and then I'll show you how I turn around and come back down. Okay, I am back, and I am at the very end here. Trying to work around this camera again. I feel like I'm going blind. Okay, got that out of my system now, and I'm going to do this last. Oops, there I go again. I have that behind. Last 2 single crochets here the very top here of my I feel like I'm working in blindness. Okay, now we're done all the way up here, sorry about that, at the very beginning. Now I'm going to come back. See, we did that bottom of the 2 holes. So now I'm going to go into this little, just like at the bottom, we have this little hole here from our single crochets, and I am going to do 1 single crochet here. There we go, just like before. And I'm going to come across now to the opposite side, and I am going to do the same thing. Find that same little hole that matches up from the single crochets, and I am going to do 1 single crochet. Oh, tighten that up a little bit, folks. Find them a little finicky about. I don't like loose stitches. Like I said with my fresh off the hook video, I seem to have a problem with crocheting too tight, but in this case we want it tight. Too loose means it can come apart. Okay, and it will move around too a little bit as time goes by. Now that I've got this part done, I'm going to pull it so that I have a big tail, because I don't want it to come unraveled now that I got it done. And I'm going to have to flip all of this around, because we are going to go back in the opposite direction now. Oh, excuse me, folks. Okay, now I am going to, burn the battery here as I use the built-in light. You guys can give me the opinion of what you think of built-in light. I've flipped around to the other side now, and I did that connecting single crochet right there, remember? And oops, I'm all twisted around. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing, going back in the other direction. See? And now we're looking at it again. 2 holes, we've used this one. Now we are going to go into this one right here. See it? See how that looks? And 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets. And this way one will actually be easier because they're already held together somewhat from the first time going up. And not only that, you can see your gap of where you're going. So you didn't go in this one, this is the next one. 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet. Oops, split the yarn there. Don't want to do that, that's not good for it. We want it to last, we don't want it to be weakened. And then back on this side, here's the spot that we skipped, and we will, I can't see, okay, we will go in to that spot and single crochet in there, and back across to this side, and 2 single crochets again in here. Did I do 1 or 2 in that last one? See, I tend to do that, and then I have to go back and look. I did 2, and then I did 2, and I'm going to go back over here and find where I didn't do 1, and I'm going to do 1 and 2 in this side, and back to the side. Whoops. Oh, and you find that can happen a lot. Okay, 1 and second 1, 2, and back across again, right there. You can see where you missed it, and you're basically doing a zigzag up one way and then back down the other way. And then here I'm going to finish this color off, and I'll show you where the connecting colors are. Okay, I'm back to where the two colors connect. I'm going to do this single crochet, 1, 2. Now back to this side, and you can actually, like I said, it almost guides you to where the next set, when you come back, it's a lot easier. It almost guides you to where you need to go. And then, of course, here. And where it seemed almost clumsy before doing that connecting, see how it just basically, it just pulls it right together like that. And so I'm going to go all the way back up to the other end and show you how I finish this connection. Okay, I'm back. Before I get started, you may notice some noise on the side, and I want to apologize for the baseball players at Hillcrest High School who don't seem to think that there's anybody around them that really would not care to have them playing their music so loud, but they are. So we get a little side music here, or a little side boom 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 through this video, and I apologize again. So as you can see, I've come all the way back up my strip, and you see how each time, now what seemed like was off, when I came back up, when you connect them, they basically just pull themselves right into line, and those two squares, just the seam lines up just perfect. Okay, so now I'm all the way back here at the beginning. Here's where I went through that little hole there. Okay, and connected it. Now I'm going to find the same thing that corresponds on the other side. See that right there? Just basically the opposite matching hole on this side, and I am going to do essentially one single crochet in here. Oops, lost it. Try again. One single crochet. Okay. And basically now I've matched it all up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this. Sorry, I got dull scissors. And I'm just going to snip it. Haha. Hook it and pull it through that loop. Oops, wrong one. Ooh, I've lost my tails. Hook it. Pull it through so it's secure, and then see there, now it's secure, and then I am just going to basically tie myself a little knot here. Judge approximately, you know, not too tight. You don't want to you want to just gently, so that you have a little bit more security. Tie a little knot in there. Just a little something there. And then I'll weave it in, and then when I'm done, it'll get covered when I do the edging. And that will probably be a while. I'll probably post these videos, so you guys, if you want to go ahead and try this blanket, can get a start on it. And when I'm done with that last green square, I have a pink one and a green one to put together, and then I can show you guys what it looks like.